At the height of the tensions on U.S. campuses this week, with Republicans gleefully seizing on student unrest as an election issue that could propel Donald Trump back into the White House, Joe Biden tried to steer a middle path. Weighing the Democratic right to peaceful protest and the political necessity to stem disruption, Biden declared that order must prevail. Threatening people, intimidating people, instilling fear, none of this is a peaceful protest, Biden said in a statement on Thursday. Dissent is essential for democracy. There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos. His comments were his most notable intervention yet in the face of campus protests against Israel's war in Gaza. The protests are a potential minefield for Biden. As his lead over Trump among younger voters continues to slip significantly from its 2020 levels and as he tries to fend off Republican attacks, he risks alienating young voters by siding with police. On the other hand, as riot police have moved against pro-Palestinian encampments and arrested thousands of people, senior Republican figures and Trump himself have been pushing hard to depict the U.S. president as losing control and allowing America's universities to slide into upheaval. Fox News has lavished round-the-clock coverage to what it has portrayed as a perfect storm of Democrat chaos, with riot police moving into occupied buildings on Columbia campus and open brawling at UCLA after a pro-Israel group attacked an encampment with sticks and fireworks. The events have diverted attention from the Trump trial in New York, where he is facing charges over a hush money payment to an adult film star. That has confounded hopes among Democrat strategists that details from the trial would deal a blow to the Republican campaign. The focus of Fox and other conservative media on the pro-Palestinian protests marks a shift from other areas of supposed disorder allegedly caused by Biden administration incompetence, particularly the U.S.-Mexico border, where there has been a continuous inflow of asylum seekers. Trump, posing, somewhat incongruously given his current legal predicament, as the law and order candidate, led the chorus on his Truth social media platform. He called for a complete lockdown of Columbia and other universities similar to what he claimed had been imposed on the area outside the Manhattan court where he is on trial, supposedly to stop his supporters gathering. His pronouncement came after he had minimized a 2017 white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where a counter-protester was killed and after which he was condemned for saying there had been fine people on both sides, as a peanut, compared with the current protests. Trump is attempting to capitalize on a febrile campus atmosphere in which Jewish and pro-Israel students have complained of anti-Semitism and being subjected to threats. So far, analysts say, there is scant evidence of the images of campus upheaval having a radical effect on voter attitudes, although some caution that this may change if protests continue into the autumn. Biden is conscious of parallels with previous instances of student protests sweeping through American campuses, and producing arguably decisive effects in presidential politics. In 1968, mass demonstrations against the Vietnam War spilled over into the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, coincidentally, the city that will stage this year's event, where Biden will be formally adopted as his party's candidate, resulting in violent street clashes with police and punch-ups on the convention floor. The anarchic scenes were followed by the defeat of the Democratic candidate, Hubert Humphrey, then the vice president, to the Republican Richard Nixon. With polls showing the president running neck-and-neck with Trump, but behind in most battleground states, the Biden campaign could be forgiven for fearing that the current tumult might be instrumental in engineering a repetition.